Hey folks, let's do some retro CSS battles. These are closing out June of 2024. We're looking at the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, and 30th of 2024. All right, let's do it. I think we're going to start here. I kind of want to do, I'm going to move this margin here. And the first thing I'm going to do is create a background of it's part of this, and I think it's going to be conic gradient. Conic gradient, and it's going to be red for 270 degrees or 75%, and then the lighter. What is that color? I don't know. 00. 200 pixels, 200 pixels, something like that. So that's how you get that pattern. Oh, I think the height is correct, 200 pixels. The width is wrong though. So 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then we need an at to center it properly. At 60 pixels, 50%. And actually just at 60 pixels I think is all we need. Oh, 160, 150. So that's part one. That has me thinking, is there, if I want to put the same thing on this one? Well, let's put a background on background. And in this case, I'm going to just do black. Like so. All right, so let's cover what we need to fix. 1, 2, 5, 6. It's just 100? Yeah, it's 100. All right, and then what are the side margins we need there? 7, 8, 9, 92. That sure looks right. So what can we do to fix this? Can we use this? Can we reuse it? I guess is really the question. I'm gonna not bother with it. Conic gradient, which is also, well, it's transparent, so it is a different one. And then this orange we're going to cover it with, so that's how you do that. And then the width of this, it's in the upper corner, 0, 0. All right, so that width needs to be more, and the height needs to be taller. And then we need an at value at 80, 90, and that's the way to do it. Pretty straightforward. Let's minify and submit. We have a few values here that we can unit replace, and so we'll do that. Resubmit, and that is a solution to this particular puzzle. That's fine. Here, same deal, huh? It just seems like kind of an just a conic gradient mood. So we'll do margins here. And I'm gonna hide that background. Okay. So which parts do we want to do as a conic gradient? I think it's conic gradient, right? Conic gradient and its background position starts at 0 on the x-axis, but then is down. So let's do this blue 25%, and then this color 0, and then I'm going to add a no repeat. For that to be meaningful, I need a size. Yeah, like so. All right. So I'm going to put that at 50 pixels. 90 pixels, okay. But I want it lower, yeah. 120, 130, 40, 50. Okay. And then it's got to be wider. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40. All right. And then that at value is like at 40 pixels, 50, 60, and then down, 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 down. And I'm gonna have that be like 200 to maybe it's a 300. And so this is a tall guy. I'm gonna let it repeat. Yeah, I kind of like that. So this is taller. 300, 30, 40, 50, 60. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay, there's an object. I'm just gonna, I want to cover just this little extra spot, right? 100, 20, 30. And then 100. 150. 160. 162. Ideally, and then, so how short can we get that height, right? How about 1 inch? As silly as that is, how about 10 cubed? What are the small heights that we can do? Percentage, yeah. Let's go with 1 inch. That's fine. We'll do that, and then set the correct color. All right, I think this is my first solution where I've ever used inches. Now, am I going to regret it? Maybe I am, actually, because that's not quite working. 3, 4. All right, let's submit that. Talked yesterday in a video about using pixels and how they're virtual, and so that's, today I'm using inches, which are also, I mean, it's a screen. The inch on my monitor might be different from your monitor, but what matters is what I'm sending to the back end of CSS Battle. So that's fun. All right. What is this shape? I think what I want here is a conic gradient. And so I'm going to use a conic gradient twice. It's going to be the same conic gradient. Conic. So I'm going to put it into a CSS custom variable. And it's going to be at like for 370 pixels and 270 pixels is the center of it. and it's yellow, 25%, and then transparent. And now when I put this bar, and I don't want that, so I want from 90 degrees. There it is. That's how you get a square like that. And that's just way too small. 330? How about, and then this is 240? That's kind of a square. So let's move that around. Let's move one of these around. What do we need here? Okay. Minus 10 pixels. Minus 40 pixels. So what I would like to do, yeah, okay. So here's what I'm trying to do. Let's go 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. So then the at value is a little more over 340, and a little bit less tall 3. Does this make sense? So the height on this is going to be 100%. So the width, we're just going to make, I've created something that doesn't make sense. How about, the height is, no, the width is 60 pixels. I'm not seeing anything. Why? Oh, because the at value is then useless. So the vertical and this is then at, oh goodness. Okay, so all right. No, I said, there we go. All right, this is what I made. So I gotta make one of these and put it in the right place, because I haven't totally thought through what I've done here. I'm gonna put it 0, 0, and then I'm gonna 100 pixels wide. It's hurting my brain a little bit how I've done this. That makes me think that I'm completely on the wrong track. Yeah, I'm on the wrong track. Yeah, conic gradient, bad idea. Okay, so new plan. How about a linear gradient? And let's just do one at a time. Linear gradient. That's at, do 0, 0 to start, and then the width is 50 pixels, and the height is 50 pixels, and then no repeat. And we're gonna we'll start with yellow, 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 and then it's a 90 degree at 90 degrees, and this is going to be transparent, but we're going to set it 20 pixels. Okay, so that's a small thing. So now I want to move this down too far, and then move this over 10 pixels. Okay, so let's make it wider. $90. 80. So I think 80 is the correct width. The height needs to be high, taller. 60, 70, okay. And this color stop is more, 50, 60, okay. All right. If I make this repeat X, then I get that. All right, this is much more reasonable. I'm gonna put this in the background, that orange, and then I can make this transparent. And this is the same, this is the common thing. Here's the gradient. Conic gradient was bad idea. R, G, like so. Comma, and then let's move this 2, 3, 4, and then down 2. Okay, down more, 3, 4, over more, 5. Is that good? And I believe that I can, so the height, width and height. So here, I think we can make this 70. No, we can't. Wrong. Oh, because we're on the repeat X. So if this were repeating, then yes, that would be the kind of factor that we could do, but we can't repeat on the Y-axis. We could here, but we're not going to. All right. Let's submit it and make sure we got it. I had high hopes for a more reasonable solution here. I have heard tell, I've read that folks use dotted borders to do solutions like this. Now, I have not tried that, and I'm not going to try it in this video, but it's a very interesting idea. It sounds like the kind of thing that would be very imprecise, but certainly interesting. You replace minify, submit, and that is a solution for this particular pattern. And that's a better score than I've gotten in the past, so I'm not going to complain about that a bit, even though it is a little on the strange side. All right. I think same deal here. Can we do this as radial gradients? Circles of 2 types, and they repeat. Okay, so if I do a radial gradient circle, and transparent, that's how you get a circle. And then if I offset it using a minus 50 VH, boom. That's pretty good. So I've offset that by minus 50 view height. So 100 view height is exactly the height of the viewport. In this case, it's 400 by 300, which is what all CSS battles are at this point. I'm not saying that they're going to change that. I think it's a good consistency. So then it makes it repeat, and it just works. Okay, so then the other one is another radial gradient circle, not circle M, circle. The light blue, the dark blue, and then the dark blue again is the next layer. Those color stops are not quite right. .29 pixels. All right. .29 and 59. Can I use a Q unit here? 30, 31, 31Q, okay. 1, 2, 3, 2. All right, let's submit that and find out if we've got 100% match. I feel like we didn't. I think there's a little bit of a halo. Yeah, not quite there. What did we say? 59Q? No, 57, 61. I have completely forgotten whatever the numbers were. 2, 3, 2. No, pixel value, 60 pixels, 59 pixels. There we go. Let's submit that. And that will close out June, assuming I got 100%, which let's not assume that. No, we did not. We can't assume that. Indeed, we're stuck at 99.9%. There's 100%. Okay, minify, unit replace, submit. And we have completed. All right, that closes out June, 100%. We got a paragraph element and the body. We got the same again, and then 2 linear, not conic gradients, and then 2 radial gradients using the VH unit, the oddball units. What we got? We used inches here, and we used a view height for a background position here, both of which are pretty fun. All right, that's great. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good day. Go make a web page, okay? It's pretty cool to make web pages. All right, bye-bye.